Hello everyone and welcome to my morning report analysis videos on Monday the 11th of June with me, Rich Paramarket Analyst at Hantec Markets. Traders are dealing with a bit of a fallout from the G7 meeting at the weekend, although it's interesting that we haven't really seen a great deal of risk aversion. And in fact the opposite really, we're seeing a fairly decent element of risk appetite. Look at these equity markets all bouncing. The key factors are that I suppose that the Canadian dollar has come under pressure following on from these comments that Donald Trump has given, following on from the G7 meeting, certainly going anti. He really went at Justin Trudeau of Canada. And made several disparaging comments about him, and certainly doesn't set up the NAFTA renegotiation talks particularly positively, and that's why I think the Canadian dollar is under pressure. But markets are going to, I think, look more towards the Kim Jong-un summit on Tuesday, and that is sort of, I think, going to start to take hold. But risk appetite is fairly positive at the moment. You've seen sterling, which has actually weakened, following on from the very disappointing industrial numbers out from the UK this morning, suggested that April and subsequently the beginning of Q2 was not especially a great time for industrial output, and subsequently we've seen sterling falling away, but generally other than that we've actually set up fairly positively in terms of risk appetite. We've seen the bond yields pulling higher again. We've seen bond yields pulling higher, and the dollar is actually sort of okay as well. It's not really sort of moving a great deal, and I think the markets are gradually going to sort of take on more of a consolidation move in front of this meeting between Trump and Kim of North Korea, which is tomorrow actually in Singapore. So we've got a fairly sort of risk positive outlook developing. There is no data really today to really take note of. So my chart of the day is the sterling Aussie. Now, the market had been looking pretty positive for a recovery in sterling Aussie. Last week we'd seen a recovery in this downtrend channel, pushing above the downtrend, but also pushing above the initial resistance at 77.22. Couldn't hold that into the close, and subsequently, in light of that economic data disappointment this morning from the UK, we've seen sterling Aussie falling back away. But look at these momentum indicators; they are still sort of showing an improvement, and it will be interesting to see if the bulls can sort of start to find support again, and once again start to build. Because I think this is an improvement on the momentum indicators, and the fact that we broke the downtrend channel intraday on Friday certainly gives you a suggestion that an improvement is sort of starting to try and take hold. Now here we see the hourly chart where I think this reaction low of 74.70 is the key level to watch now near term. You've seen that disappointment and the drop away this morning in the last sort of hour or so on sterling Aussie, but as I said, it'll be interesting to see if we can hold up above that 74.70 level, start to form a new higher low. Then I think that would be a pretty encouraging move, actually, considering we've had this falling over of sterling this morning. But those momentum indicators are certainly pointing towards a more encouraging outlook and a change in sentiment. But can it survive this initial sort of dip on the industrial numbers from the UK? That is the question. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading, and I will speak to you later.